Hi everyone and welcome to A Beautiful Mess. My name is Bonnie and this is going to be a very different type of cleaning video because we are in a pharmacy basement and my members will probably recognize this video as being one that I released several months ago. It was actually one of my very first members only video and I decided to also release it on just my regular channel. So, this, again, is just pharmacy basement, and I was hired to clean this when I first started my YouTube channel and needed some money because I just lost my business, and so this was how I was supplementing my income while I was trying to grow my channel. So very gracious of them to hire me to do this, and it was kind of a fun cleaning. We ran across a lot of fun things in this basement. This building that we're in is over 100 years old, and it's been in this family for, gosh, I cannot remember how many decades, but several decades, and it's become kind of a dumping ground for a lot of different things over the years, including, I mean, this corner is stuff that they use to decorate the store with, but a lot of the things you'll see in this basement belong to the family, like a lot of extended family too. So, but you can see there's, old chairs and furniture and there is some decor for the pharmacy because this is one of those cute pharmacies where they have a little diner with bar stools and you can get your hamburger and hot dogs and shakes and sodas and all that fun stuff. So it's just a fun little atmosphere upstairs. But this back here, I'm going to show you real quick. This is where they used to shovel in coal to this building to heat it. And all of this black stuff on the ceiling is soot from burning that coal. So, but you know, they've boarded it up now. And you can see they're using this back room as just more storage for like camping gear and old baby clothes, just all kinds of fun things. And then out in the main area, we found mattresses and old shopping carts, old dining room tables. And then, of course, they also have to keep records for the pharmacy. So that's what all of these red bins are. And all these ones that are gathered in the middle are ones that they're getting ready to destroy after, I don't know, probably 7 years, I'm guessing. Kind of the same rule as taxes, I guess. I don't know. And then I think these are like old Beanie Babies, but they had a lot of display racks that they were getting rid of. So, and I'll have a helper that you'll see every so often. His name is Sam, and he was also hired to come clean this with me, but he'll be carrying a lot of the heavy stuff out that's going to either the dump or to donate. But I'll be starting in this section where there's a lot of the old like crafty things that they used to sell and no longer do. So they're trying to get rid of a lot of this by having a great sale on it at the sidewalk sale. So every year here in Spanish Fork, we have what we call Fiesta Days. It's the week of July 24th, and it's like a whole week-long event to celebrate Pioneer Day, because that's what we celebrate here in Utah. It's kind of funny. It's been almost exactly a year since I filmed, whatever, this, because right now it is July 2nd as I'm recording this voiceover. So almost exactly a year ago. And if you're new to my channel, this is not normally what I do. I usually do clean houses for people for free that are struggling with their mental health or a disability or just a hard time in life. So this is definitely a very off kind of video for me. Not something I normally do, but it was just going to be sort of a bonus thing. Check out this relic of a VCR. Who still has a VCR in their house? I'm not really sure what happened with my camera right there, but perhaps the pharmacy ghost. Moo! Sounds like a job for Scooby-Doo. So every once in a while, I'm going to throw something in here that I found that I thought was kind of interesting, like this old advertisement for Pima Prints. I'm gathering that that's the name of the brand of briefs and shirts. But anyway, just kind of a fun old advertisement. And now we're moving on to a different section where they've kept a lot of paint and old flooring, tiles, just all kinds of random like home improvement type things. And a lot of this paint was expired, so you can't just throw that away. So we did end up taking those to the dump where they have a special way that they dispose of it, I guess. I don't know. We just let them take care of it. But yeah, I let Sam take care of it rather. Anyone in need of a fart launcher 5000? Or 3,000, sorry. That I got ahead of myself. 5,000, that's a little too strong. I did try to repurpose as much of this as possible, either take it to my house to use, to Tish's house to use, or we took it to a restore, which is a Habitat for Humanity donation center that benefits Habitat for Humanity. So I did try my best to make good of all the stuff that we were getting rid of. And yes, it probably is ridiculous that I'm folding these, seeing as they just need to be washed since they've been in this dusty basement, but I couldn't help myself. I just love folding, so it had to be done. It's interesting going back and watching some of my older footage because it was filmed on one of my very first cameras I ever got off of Amazon to start my YouTube channel with, and it was touted as a very good camera, but the sound recording or the sound quality on it is awful. So yeah, I cannot stand the sound quality on this camera, and so I quickly replaced that as soon as I could. I'm about to make this dusty basement even dustier by accidentally turning this vacuum on with the hose attached to the blow side instead of the suck side. Time to put this paint back so it can sit there and expire. Right? Because that's probably what's going to happen. This is kind of like leftovers where you put it in the fridge intending to eat it and then just never do, but somehow it feels better putting it in the fridge as a leftover than just immediately throwing it out. So yeah, I'm sure this paint will sit there long enough that it's going to also expire, but somehow you feel better not throwing it right away. Right? I can't be the only one who does that. Okay, my camera is about to get knocked out of the way here. And then I don't realize that it's not really centered on what I was working on the left there. So I'll kind of switch between this camera and the other one so that you can still see what I am doing on the left side there. And oddly, my back, I think, hurt more a year ago than it does right now. You would think it would get worse while doing all the cleaning that I do, but I think it's actually strengthened a lot over the last year. Just by using good body technique. It's not like I really have time to work out, so couldn't be that. But anyway, that is why I'm wearing the back brace in this, because it was hurting quite a bit while I was cleaning this basement. This entire surface was covered with cardboard stapled onto it, but a lot of it was starting to come up. I think they did that just to hide the surface because it was looking a little ratty, but I decided to take these off because it was all starting to come off anyway. So I'm just using pliers to pull all the staples out, and then I'm gonna try to clean up this surface a little bit just to see if I could make it look any nicer. And it doesn't look that much better at the end, but I will show you a before and after just to prove that it did make some difference. I did spray a little degreaser on here before I started scraping it with the razor, so that's why it's a little bit softer and is coming off a little easier. So here you go, that's where we started. And then the after, so a little bit of difference, but hey, at least it's cleaner than it was. And then this is just the table on the opposite side. This one does turn out a little bit better, so here's a little before and after. There you go. And then here's something else interesting that I found. So this is old film, I think, or maybe it's a disposable camera, but I think it's just film. I don't know. But the name on it is City Drug, which it hasn't been City Drug for years and years and years. So it has been down in this basement for quite a while. Okay, while I show you the before and afters of this area that I just cleaned, I'm going to tell you how the rest of this video is going to go, because originally I had planned on taking the 4 parts from the members only videos and combining them into 2 separate ones for my regular viewers, but I've decided just to combine it all into one and not redo all of the voiceover. So some of this is just going to be the original voiceover I did for my members, and I'm just going to leave it like that because I do not have the luxury of time these days. So it's just going to have to be what I originally put in there. So some of this was from the beginning of the next video, just showing, you know, some of the areas I've already done, and then what I'm going to be working on in this video. So here's where it cuts to my original audio. First, I have to show you the guy that you'll be seeing in the background, who I'm just calling What's His Face because I can't remember his name. Okay, so I have to ask when I put this on YouTube, if I touch you in anything, do you want me to blur you out?
No, I don't care.
Okay, I was going to say, put your mask away.
Just because I can't breathe over there.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
No,
I
okay.
got to post it, and then you go, excuse me.
It might make me famous, I don't know.
Yeah. It might make him famous, haha. Little does he know, I'm not that big. But anyway, he was so nice. So yeah, back to the flowers. The reason why there's so many of these fake flowers down here. So they had a floral arranger who used to make, you know, little decorative things for the pharmacy, because this is one of those like pharmacies that has a cute little diner in it, and they sell super cute like crafty items and whatever. And I'm not that into floral arrangements, but some people are. So anyway, they had somebody doing that, but she passed away, and they had just ordered in a whole bunch of new flowers for her to work with. So they were left with all this after she passed. They did hire somebody else to come in and take it over, but I guess that didn't really work out. So anyway, that's, yeah, a big part of this basement is just these bunches of flowers. So I just arranged them into color. I mean, it was kind of fun, actually, just getting these into a little bit better order. So it was kind of a satisfying before and after. So if you're a new member, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and thanks so much for supporting my channel in this way. So if you haven't seen the first couple of this series, I'll just tell you a little bit. I was hired to help declutter this basement because the family had used it to basically be a dumping ground for not only the stuff from the pharmacy, but also just their family's stuff. That's why there's a random snowblower and mattresses and Christmas stuff and a pool in the back you can see there. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. So yeah, they just needed to get it in order, and this was in July. So in every July we have what we call Fiesta Days, and they have well, because here in Utah we celebrate Pioneer Day on July 24th. So on that week they do a lot of sidewalk sales where they just, discount a bunch of their stuff and put it out on the sidewalk. So a lot of these things, like a lot of the flowers, they were like, you know what, let's just throw it in the sidewalk sale and see if anybody wants to take these off our hands. So that, along with a whole bunch of their more crafty items, which I don't really show in this one, but even one of those cute little, or the thing that I'm pulling the flowers out of right now, that's like one of the types of items they sold. Just really cute containers. I'm just popping in here with a new bit of voiceover just to apologize for the S's in the old audio, because I had a different microphone at the time and the S's on it came out horribly. So I'm really sorry for that sharp S sound. It drives me crazy too. Oh, and random tables. That was another thing there were so many of in this basement, were just random tables. So this one in the very front, you can see it has been well loved, well used. And I think it's this, yeah, I think it's that one that you'll actually see me take apart later, because they were like, we just need to pare down some of this stuff. So we ended up just dismantling it, taking it to the dump, because they didn't need all of these tables, especially when they were that ruined. So make sure you stick around, or at least watch the end of this video, because there is a sneak peek of a house that I am going to be starting on next Wednesday. And it's going to be the hardest one I've done to date. It is a true hoarder house, and it's a doozy. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of that at the end of this. And this is me, Bonnie, from 9 months later, just popping in here to say that I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I decided to take on the job that I just talked about here. And I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about this at the end of this segment, where I'm showing you the sneak preview of her house before I went and tackled it back in January, end of January. February? I can't even remember. It feels like it was so long ago, and so much has happened since. But yeah, there were a lot of learned experiences from that whole saga. But anyway, like I said, I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of this segment. Okay, so here we go, bringing law and order to fake flowers everywhere. But we're still not done. This is just the flower part. And then I've got to just clean up the area that they were in and put them back in a little bit nicer fashion. So that longer table is one that they were planning to use for the sidewalk sale. So they wanted me to get it all cleaned up for them. And I found this beautiful hat, but it didn't quite fit right, so I didn't keep it. Could you see what that was? 3 dead mice. They were probably blind too, but it is a basement after all, so, you know, mice happen. So here's where I was told, go ahead and just dismantle this table, let's get rid of it. And I love to use my tools, so I was happy to do so. And then I always try to feature something that I found in this basement that is mysterious. I don't know what this is. I mean, some kind of seat, obviously, but other than that, I don't really know. And then this, I think, is an adding machine. Somebody told me it's not a typewriter, but then 2 cool old typewriters. I think they're awesome. Okay, so here's the before and after. It's so pretty, so colorful. I love it. Okay, Bonnie from the present again, and I'm sorry if this is confusing where I'm going back and forth between the present and my original voiceover, but after this one last, well, that's just an after of that area. I move on to this footage from Julie's house that I did at the beginning of this year, and I had forgotten that I included this footage at the end of this video, so I have to say it's pretty interesting to go back and listen to how excited I am actually to tackle this. And I was like, yes, my first real like hoarder house. And by the way, I don't really like to call them hoarders. I prefer to say someone with hoarding disorder. And it is a very, very sad situation. But knowing what I know now, I definitely would have handled this situation differently. I did the best I could with the information I had about myself, about the situation at the time. And working on this house really is what led to the burnout that I had that I don't feel like I ever let myself fully recover from or gave myself a break. And that's why I'm taking a break right now, finally. But it was a learning experience. And so hindsight's 2020, and I am learning now to set some boundaries and do things differently. So no regrets. We just keep moving forward. Okay, here is the last installment of the Stone Drug Basement with original audio. So this is the last installment of this series of the Stone Drug Pharmacy Basement. This is the area I'm working on today. And we got lots of baskets and crafty items I got to sort out for the sidewalk sale that they'll be doing, which I mentioned in my last video. And guess what? I remembered this guy's name. Finally, on the last video, I remembered his name. His name is Sam, but I'm still going to call him What's-His-Face because that's just more fun. So I'm probably not going to talk a whole lot in this one and just let you enjoy some ASMR cleaning sounds, whatever. I will do a little bit of talking, but because I'm recording this actually a week ahead of time, which is woohoo! Like I never do that, so this is kind of a miracle. But I just know I'm going to be really busy the next few weeks with that really big hoarder house that I'll be starting on next week, and I'm going to be out of town this weekend. So I'm just trying to get a little bit ahead. So anyway, I'll just let you watch this, enjoy the cleaning sounds, and I'll just pipe in every once in a while with a little commentary. I did want to mention that the camera that I'm recording this part with is like the worst when it comes to picking up sound. So it'll change here in just a minute to recording with my phone, and the sound is so much better. It's not as harsh. But this was like way, way before I ever met Mac and got my cool phone to record with. So I'm recording with like my own personal phone here. But now I feel very fortunate that I have this extra phone that Mac gave me to record with. It is beautiful. It's wonderful. So anyway, the sounds here are much better. Oh, I do make a beautiful greenery arrangement right here. Check it out. Isn't it beautiful? I'm for hire if you ever need someone to do your greenery. Okay, here's some before and afters of this area. And then I actually needed to cut out just a little bit of the original video here because there were some things in there that I probably should not put out to the general public. But so we're moving on to this new area with the crappy camera again. Sorry. Anyway, they built this little storage area for all their tools and things. They didn't have anything in there. So I'm like, let's use this little closet here. Get rid of some of these shovels and axes. I don't know why there's axes down there, but there were. And anyway, and then these little tables were super cute. They were selling them at the sidewalk sale. But all of these boxes and things that I'm organizing here were they're like bags that they use for the pharmacy and for their little crafty items that they put. Anyway, just, the bags that they use for their business. So I'm just getting them a little more organized into, there were several boxes open of the same kind. So I'm just putting those like ones together and just cleaning up this area a bit because it got a little chaotic. I had to cut out another section of video here in just a second because it had somebody in it that I didn't get permission to have her in here, and I didn't want to bother to go in and blur her out because sometimes that takes a lot of extra work. So it might jump ahead a little bit here. Here's a little what's-his-face cameo. Oh, there he is. So this little pegboard that I'm taking all those pegs out of, they were getting rid of it, and I thought this would actually be good to organize stuff in a garage. So it's actually sitting at Tish's right now, and I'm going to use it to organize her garage once it gets a little warmer. Okay, here's the before and afters of this area. And then I'm just going to give you a tour of the entire basement. I didn't show you every single area I cleaned on film, but I think you're probably getting bored of the pharmacy basement. So we're going to move on, and I will just show you the whole thing all organized and some kind of fun little things that they did for their the parade. That was another thing that they were getting ready for, was a little parade that we do for that Fiesta Days I mentioned. But they built these things, that big old hamburger and the soda cup thing, and then breadsticks. And look at how cute those little pharmacy, or the little pill bottles are that they created. So creative. So that part was already pretty organized, all their Christmas stuff, what they used for Halloween decor. And then, yeah, I didn't show this area getting organized, but, and Sam, I'm sorry, what's his face? That's what he did too, was a lot of this other stuff that I didn't show you on film. So here's that one area I showed you in the second part. And yeah, there it is. And then here's the before and afters, just to compare. So I'll let you see that. And that's the end of this. So thanks guys for watching. And I will hopefully have a video for you the next week if I'm not too busy. Thanks for watching. See you later. Okay, Bonnie from the present again. And seriously, thank you guys for watching this. I know it's not my usual video, but as I'm trying to get through this burnout and this break that I'm taking, I just appreciate you watching whatever I come up with right now until I can get back to some regular stuff. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.